Hey everyone, and welcome back. I'm Rick Fussell and this is the Ingrain Workshop. In today's video we're going to be reviewing some personal protective equipment. We're going to be doing a tool review of the PuriSystem 1100 air filtration system. That's coming up next here at the Ingrain Workshop. So before we unbox the unit, let's determine what size unit I need for my particular workshop. And to do that, we need to flash back to some 9th grade geometry, and let's head over to the whiteboard and figure out the calculation. So if memory serves me correctly, the volume is simply the length times the width times the height. My particular workshop is 30 feet long, times 25 feet wide, times 10 feet high, which gives me a total volume of 7,500 cubic feet. So ASHRAE, which stands for the American Society of Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning Engineers, recommends 5 complete air changes for a woodworking workshop. So if you take my volume, which is 7,500 cubic feet, multiply that times 5 air changes per hour, you get 37,500 cubic feet per hour of air that I need to circulate. If you divide that by 60 minutes per hour, that gives me 625 cubic feet per minute that I need to circulate within the workshop. And the PuriSystem model number 1100 circulates 650 CFM on the low setting, so that is going to be the correct unit for my particular workshop. So I hope the calculation wasn't too rough, but if you're having trouble calculating the CFM and the volume that you'll need for your particular workshop, then just leave your dimensions in the comment section below, and I'll be more than happy to calculate the volume and the size unit that you'll need for your particular workshop. Now let's start unboxing. So just full disclosure, PuriSystems did send me this unit to do a tool review on the 1100 air filtration system. This is how I received it. The boxing seems to be very well done. So let's go ahead and open it up and see what's inside. So the most important thing right on top is the installation manual, so you don't have to go diving in the box for it. It was right here on top. Along with an accessory box, and I'll go over in more detail all the accessories that come with the unit. The packaging did come with these hard plastic corner protectors, which I really appreciate and will help preserve the unit along with this foam. And then we have the actual unit itself. So included with the accessories was the installation manual. You also get a remote control and then 2 AAA batteries. The unit can be controlled by an RF remote control or manually. It also comes with 4 mounting brackets if you want to surface mount the unit to a wall or your ceiling. Along with the 4 surface mounting brackets are 4 expansion bolts and 4 screws to screw the mounting brackets to the top of the units, and then the expansion bolts to fasten through the ceiling or wall wherever you choose to mount it. And then it comes with a second mounting method using chains, hooks that will screw directly into the top of the unit, and then you've got 4 hooks that you can screw into your ceiling, and that's the mounting method that I'm going to use to mount the unit to my ceiling here in my workshop. Let's start with the specifications of the unit, starting out with the power. The power is 110 volts, 60 hertz, running at, I believe, 2.1 amps. The control mode on the unit is both remote control and manual control by the front control panel. As far as the wind speeds, there's a low, medium, and high. I believe the CFM at the low level is 650 CFM. At the medium level, it's 850 CFM. And then at the high level, it's 1100 CFM, which is a really great feature on this unit. That way, if you're just doing some typical woodworking, just some cutting and stuff like that, you might have it running at low to medium. If it's a day in the workshop where you're going to be doing a lot of heavy sanding, you might want to bump it up to the high level. That way you're recirculating there at 1100 CFM on your heavy sanding days. It also comes with a timing feature, which allows you to set it up to come on with a minimum time of 1 hour up to a maximum time of 12 hours. That way you can just turn it on and leave it, and it will shut down automatically after that predetermined time. As far as the noise level, it operates at less than 66 decibels, which is really low for a unit like this. The total weight for this unit is 33 pounds. The dimensions are approximately 24.5 by 20 by 10.5. This particular unit does not come with the ionization function, but you can order the 1100 IG, and that does have the ion function built into the unit. Some key features of the unit: it does have 2 handles on each side of the unit, which makes it really easy to pick up and move. It also has the control panel on the front of the unit, and then it also has an overload fuse protector also on the front of the unit if you do exceed the 2.18 amps. So on the back of the unit, this unit is a 2-stage air filtration system. So you have these side clips that you just open up, and then that allows the primary 5-micron filter to come out, so you can replace it periodically. And then inside you have a 1-micron, you actually have 3 1-micron bag filters, which you can replace or blow out with your air compressor. And then you have your squirrel cage motor and fan inside the unit. And the 1-micron bag filter has an aluminum frame, so it's very sturdy and durable. And as you can see, it's easy to replace and to insert. So servicing the unit is fairly easy. That's pretty much all you have to do for the 2-stage air filtration system. So as I had mentioned previously, there are 2 mounting methods that you can use for this particular unit, and that's an actual surface mounting brackets, or you can use the hooks and hang the unit from a chain, and that's the method that I'm going to use to mount here in my workshop. So the next thing we're going to do is mount the hooks to the top of the unit, and then mount the chains and the unit itself to the ceiling of my workshop. To install the mounting hooks on the top of the unit, I'm just going to use an Allen wrench chucked up in my cordless drill and use that to install the hooks on the top of the unit. Now I'm going to repeat the process for the other 3 hooks. Now with all the hooks installed on top of the unit, I can use the mounting hooks and the chains to the ceiling to mount the system up on the ceiling of the workshop. Due to the height of the ceiling in my workshop, I didn't want to use the chains that were provided with the unit because I wanted the unit to be lower. So I went ahead and just made some custom chains here just so the unit wouldn't be mounted so high and it'd be at the same level as my Minisplit air conditioning system inside the workshop. With the weight of the unit only at 33 pounds, I was able to just put the unit on top of my ladder and then stand on top of my ladder and lift it up a couple inches and put the hooks on the chains. And it made the installation process really easy. I didn't need a second person to install it. I was able to get it installed by myself, fairly safe, and it made the installation process a lot easier than some units which are a lot larger and bulkier. Once I was able to get it installed on all 4 chains, I then took the electrical outlet cord. I did have a standard 110 outlet here mounted at my ceiling, so it was fairly easy for me to just plug the unit in here at the ceiling level. So, depending on your installation, you might have to add an outlet or, add an extension cord. But this installation process was really easy. So in mounting my air filtration system, I considered 2 things. Number 1, where am I creating the most dust? And my table saw is the central location in my workshop. It's the workflow where everything pretty much starts at. Most of my cutting is done here at the table saw. So I mounted the air filtration system directly above my table saw. Also, right next to my table saw is my outfeed table. And my outfeed table is where I do the majority of my sanding with the random orbital sander. So again, this general location is where I'm generating probably 70% of the dust in the workshop. So it just made sense to me to mount it here directly over my table saw. The other factor is on the complete opposite side of the workshop is where I have my DIY Mr. Cool Minisplit system. So there I'm drawing conditioned air, and it's pushing its way to this end of the workshop. And now I'm taking filtered air from the air filtration system and blowing it back toward the Mr. Cool Minisplit system. So I'm blowing clean air toward my Minisplit system. So I should have less maintenance to do on my Minisplit system as far as how often I have to change and clean the air filters on the Minisplit system. So those are the 2 factors that I used in figuring out where to actually mount my air filtration system. Also, when mounting the air filtration system, I decided to use my own chains instead of the chains that were included in the set, simply because I wanted to lower the unit down a little lower. My ceilings are relatively high, and I didn't want the air filtration system mounted up high. I wanted to mount it in line with my Minisplit system. That way I'm blowing conditioned air directly toward the Minisplit system. Again, making both units, I think, more efficient. So those are just a couple of factors to keep in mind when mounting your air filtration system. So here with the unit mounted in the ceiling directly above the table saw, you can see on the left-hand side of the unit is the actual control panel. And then on the right side is the actual outfeed grill, which is where it blows out the clean filtered air. So again, let's use our remote control, and I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. And that's running at the low speed, which I believe was about 650 CFM, which at the low speed is enough air changes to complete at least 5 air changes in my workshop. But then, like I said, if you're doing a lot of sanding, you can bump it up to the mid-level, which is 850 CFM. And then you can bump it up to the high level, which is 1100 CFM. And you can see it's very powerful. It's definitely moving a lot of air and filtering a lot of air. And then along with the speed, the three stages of different speeds and airflows, there's also a timer. So you can set it up for 1 hour being the minimum setting, and then you can bump it all the way up to 12 hours. and then it will automatically just shut off in 12 hours. So again, that's a feature that you can just turn it on and then forget about it. If you leave the workshop, it will just shut itself off automatic. Or you can use the remote control feature. Here, I just wanted to give you a view of the mini split system that I have mounted at the back door of my workshop. And then you can see that it's directly in line with the air filtration system that's mounted directly over my table saw. And you can get a sense of the circular direction of air that's going to be coming out of the mini split system and then being sucked into the air filtration system and blown back out. So I'm not saying that an air filtration system can substitute a dust mask, but let's be honest with each other. How often do we really put on our dust mask? I'm being honest, I'll put it on if I'm going to be doing some production sanding, and that's pretty much about it. If I'm just doing some minor sanding with a random orbital sander, I'm just going to do the hold your breath technique, hold it far away, head tilted, and that's the technique I use. And then you're always ended up with a cloud of dust right around head level, just like Pigpen from Charlie Brown. But with the PuriSystem 1100 air filtration system, that dust cloud is immediately sucked up into the ceiling and it runs through their two-stage filtration system and discharges as clean air. So I highly recommend the PuriSystem 1100 air filtration system for your small or medium-sized workshop. I'll leave a link in the video description below with an Amazon link to where you can pick up this air filtration system, and I believe if you order it this week, you'll save an additional 15% off. Well, that's going to wrap up this video. If you're new to the channel and you like DIY and woodworking projects, then I invite you to hit that subscribe button. It's free and painless. And I'd also ask that you click on that bell icon. That way you'll be notified of all our upcoming videos. To all my existing subscribers, I really appreciate all the support you've given this channel. So in case you have some loved ones, some little ones that like to come into your workshop, you know, it's always nice to have, or the peace of mind that you've got clean air inside your workshop. So I highly recommend the PuriSystem 1100 air filtration system. That way, no matter who stops by, you always have healthy, clean air in your workshop. Well, I'm Rick with the Ingrain Workshop, aka Pawpaw, and this is my boy Liam, aka Chinito. We'll see you next time. Have a wonderful day and God bless. Bye-bye. Say bye-bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Say bye. Look at the camera and say bye.
Bye.
Bye.